Today on the show, we're diving into the world of economic indicators. These are the numbers that tell us how the economy is doing, things like GDP, unemployment rates, and consumer confidence. But what do these indicators really mean? How are they calculated? And how should we interpret them? We'll break it all down for you with the help of some experts to make sense of the numbers that shape our world. Hey, Broncos country. You probably think this Denver Broncos versus Chargers matchup is just another tough road game in the AFC West. But hold up. It's way more than that, and it's killing your vibe if you're already writing it off as a loss. Picture this. You're sitting in Mile High, heart pounding from those Denver Broncos highlights of last year's comebacks. But now in 2025, we're staring down a Chargers team that's missing stars left and right. And folks, Broncos unlock one secret weapon that crushes Chargers today. That's the vibe we're hitting right out the gate in this Denver Broncos analysis for the 2025 season. I'm Ben, your diehard Denver Broncos fan from right here in Colorado, where we bleed orange and blue. It's our state flag. I've been following every Denver Broncos news twist since the Elway days, helping thousands of fans in Broncos Nation unpack these games without the fluff. Today, you're going to discover why our run game is about to explode, the sneaky edges in our Denver Broncos defense, and that one matchup that flips the script on the Chargers. But stick around, because the third insight here, it's going to shatter everything you thought about Bo Nix's sophomore jump. What if I told you this win puts us atop the division? Would that fire you up enough to smash that subscribe? Tell me in the comments, what's your boldest Denver Broncos prediction for this game? All right, let's dive right in, Broncos fans. If you're like me, living and breathing Denver Broncos news from the snowy streets of Denver to the high plains out east, this Denver Broncos 2025 season started with a mix of hype and those nagging frustrations we've carried since the post-Manning era. Remember those glory days? Back in the 90s when Mile High was shaking with Super Bowl roars and legends like Terrell Davis were bulldozing defenses. Man, that nostalgia hits hard for us older folks in Broncos country who remember tailgating with cassette tapes of the games. Fast forward to now, and yeah, we've got scars. The Denver Broncos results from the last few years? Spotty at best. Think about it. Endless quarterback carousels, defenses that tease greatness but fold in crunch time, and those gut punch losses that leave you yelling at the TV. It's the kind of insecurity that makes every Sunday feel like a roller coaster at Elitch Gardens. Up 1 minute, plummeting the next. But hold on, this Denver Broncos 2025 season, it's different. We kicked off with a gritty win over the Titans in Week 1, where our Denver Broncos offense showed flashes of that old-school grit. Bo Nix, our Denver Broncos quarterback stepping into his second year, looked poised, threading passes like he was born in orange. Then came Week 2 against the Colts, a heartbreaker, 29-28 on a last-second field goal. Ouch. That one stung, especially with the Denver Broncos injury report updates piling up. Fans in Broncos Nation were venting on social media. Denver Broncos viral moments like that spiked ball penalty from J.K. Dobbins trending everywhere. According to insiders on ESPN, it was a classic case of self-inflicted wounds, but hey, silver linings. Our Denver Broncos statistics showed we moved the ball better than expected, racking up nearly 400 yards. And let's talk about the new blood. Free agency rumors turned real with signings like Evan Engram at tight end, Talanoa Hufanga at safety, and Dre Greenlaw at linebacker. These guys were supposed to shore up our Denver Broncos defense, but injuries hit early. Speaking of which, the bad news first, because we gotta face it head-on like a true Coloradoan staring down a blizzard. Dre Greenlaw, that stud linebacker we snagged for run-stopping prowess, is out for this Denver Broncos versus Chargers game. Didn't practice all week, and it's a blow considering how he could have neutralized their ground game. Then there's Evan Engram, back flare-up in the Colts matchup, sidelining him from that joker role we were hyped about in Denver Broncos training camp. It's frustrating, right? That nagging fear in Broncos country, that our depth isn't there yet. Echoing those Denver Broncos playoff chances 2025 debates on podcasts. Analysts from the Denver Post called it day-to-day. But man, it makes you wonder if Sean Payton should have IR'd him to save a spot. And don't get me started on the broader Denver Broncos rumors swirling trade predictions for more line help, or questions about our Denver Broncos' offensive line depth chart holding up against pass rushes. Yet, here is where the emotion kicks in. We're not the same team that limped through past seasons. Last year's Denver Broncos schedule had us battling the Chargers twice, and we played them tough both times. In SoFi, we were down big early, but Bo Nix rallied like a champ in the second half, going 29 of 40 for almost 300 yards and 2 scores. It was the spark of our Denver Broncos quarterback's growth, turning skeptics into believers, and at home. We had him on the ropes until a bogus penalty flipped momentum. Classic NFL drama. But now in this Denver Broncos 2025 season, we've upgraded. We didn't have Hufanga or Alex Singleton last year, and Pat Certain, too, sat out most of one Chargers game with a concussion. Flash forward, our Denver Broncos players are healthier overall, with full practices from Singleton, Nick Bonito, Hufanga, Sternad, and even Atkins, a sneaky addition per Denver Broncos analysis from local pods. Now, here's the thing. The Chargers? They're a shadow of last year. Their Denver Broncos versus Chargers analysis shows massive losses. Joey Bosa to the Bills, Asante Samuel Jr. gone, Khalil Mack hurt for at least 4 weeks, Rashawn Slater banged up. Their top defender, Poona Ford, is out too. Add in No Will Dissly, their engram equivalent, and Elijah Molden at safety, and suddenly their vaunted unit looks vulnerable. ESPN analysts said it best. Without Mack, it's like us missing Bonito or Certain game changer. Our Denver Broncos defense strategy 2025 under Vance Joseph? It's built for this with 2 high safety looks that dare teams to run. But guess what? We can counter that now Denver Broncos 2025 season. That sinking feeling after the Colts loss, the frustration of close games slipping away, the insecurity about whether Bo Nix can avoid a Denver Broncos quarterback controversy if he stumbles? It's like hiking up a 14er, only to twist an ankle near the summit. Exhausting and deflating. Older fans in Broncos country remember the Super Bowl highs with Peyton, but these days, it's the what-ifs. What if our Denver Broncos offense can't protect the ball? What if injuries derail our Denver Broncos playoff chances 2025? And facing the Chargers, that rivalry history with the Raiders and Chiefs amps up the pressure. Losing to division foes stings double. The worries stack up in Denver Broncos news. Without Greenlaw. Can we stop J.K. Dobbins? Wait, no, he's ours now. That's the twist, our secret weapon unlocked. Remember, Dobbins was the AFC West's best back last year as a Charger, and now he's in orange, ready for his Denver Broncos debut alongside R.J. Harvey. Insiders like Robbie NFL broke it down. Chargers. DC Jesse Minter loves those 2 high safeties to stuff the run. But with Dobbins and Harvey, our Denver Broncos run game strategy 2025 is primed to exploit unloaded boxes. We saw Peyton pivot to the ground against the Colts, fans high-fiving in the stands, and it'll happen again. Denver Broncos advanced stats breakdown shows Dobbins averaging over 5 yards per carry pre-injury. Pair that with our improved line, and it's a nightmare for LA. But on the flip side, their offense still has threats like Keenan Allen and Ladd McConkey, even if it doesn't scare like the Colts. Our Denver Broncos defense analysis, week 1 and 2, highlighted Bonito leading the league in pressures. His get-off is elite per PFF grades. With Nick Bonito's contract extension fresh, that 4-year deal locking him in, he's motivated. And the Chargers' right tackle? A turnstile without Slater. If Bonito or Jonathan Cooper spams that side, Justin Herbert's day gets rough. Denver Broncos fan reactions latest game after Colts showed hype for our pass rush, but worry about behavioral penalties. Remember Dobbins' spike? Peyton's meticulous scouting, even on refs, he joked about knowing their kids' names, keeps us disciplined. This crew flag's taunting hard, but we're clean under Peyton. Here's where it gets tricky. What if we overlook their remaining stars? James at safety is a beast, and if our Denver Broncos offensive playbook secrets don't adapt, it could bite us. But nostalgia alert. Think back to those 777 Orange Crush days when our defense turned games on grit alone. Today's unit echoes that, Hufanga barking orders, Certain locking down receivers. Denver Broncos behind-the-scenes locker room vibes? Fired up per-player interviews exclusive on the team site. And for us in Colorado, where Broncos fan merchandise trends toward retro jerseys, this matchup feels like reclaiming our West Coast home at SoFi. More orange than powder blue, as always. Midway through this Denver Broncos analysis, I've got to hit you with a CTA because this insight on our run game edge just added real value. It's the kind of deep dive that flips your view on our Denver Broncos 2025 season chances. If you're feeling that hype, smash subscribe to stay locked on every Denver Broncos highlights and rumor. A quick question to keep you thinking. What's the one Denver Broncos player you think explodes against the Chargers, Dobbins or Benito? Drop it below. But wait, there's a cliffhanger brewing. What if Peyton's referee homework uncovers a game-altering edge no one's talking about? Stick with me. All right, Broncos fans, we've aired the dories, those frustrations from inconsistent Denver Broncos results, the injury bugs biting our Denver Broncos players like Greenlaw and Engram. But now let's flip to the solutions, the hopes lighting up Broncos Nation in this Denver Broncos 2025 season. It's like emerging from a rocky mountain storm into clear skies, sudden, refreshing, and full of promise. Sean Payton, our coaching wizard, isn't just scheming plays. He's building a culture. Denver Broncos coaching staff news highlights Darren Rizzi as special teams ace, fixing those leverage calls that analysts ripped in Week 2. And our Denver Broncos offense? With Atkins back in the flat, designs popping like in last year's Chargers opener, march downfield, no mercy. The key resolution: our upgraded roster trumps theirs. We didn't have Dobbins last year, but now he's our hammer against Minter's softboxes. R.J. Harvey adds burst, making our Denver Broncos' best touchdown plays a threat. Bo Nix's rookie QB performance 2025? Solid growth, no controversy. His rhythm in that Chargers comeback last season was a teaser. Courtland Sutton's extension locks in a top wideout, with Marvin Mims Jr. and Troy Franklin as Denver Broncos top wide receivers 2025. Insiders say Sutton's leadership echoes Elway's era, firing up the huddle. Defensively, Benito's pressures lead the league. His Nick Benito contract boost means long-term stability. Hufanga and Singleton plug gaps, turning our Denver Broncos defense into a unit that could rival the Chiefs' rivalry history. Predictions? Bold 1, we win 27-20, tying for first in the West with the tiebreaker. Denver Broncos Week 3 game predictions from ESPN lean Chargers, but they're missing our edges, like exploiting their banged-up line. If Benito gets 3 pressures, Herbert folds. And Peyton's detail obsession? It's the intangible that resolves our discipline woes. Denver Broncos social media trends show fans rallying with TikTok highlights of Nix's throws going viral. For older fans, this echoes the 80s rebuild. Patience pays off. Looking ahead, our Denver Broncos schedule gets Bengals next. Burrowless, maybe, boosting playoff odds. Denver Broncos Rookie of the Year candidate? Nix or Franklin could shine. Hopes high for Super Bowl whispers if we stack wins. Denver Broncos Mile High Stadium experience? Electric for home games, but this road dub feels like home. Wrapping up, this deep Denver Broncos versus Chargers analysis just dropped value bombs on why we're poised, from injury silver linings to that unlocked run weapon in Dobbins. If it fired you up for the Denver Broncos 2025 season, hit subscribe, drop a comment, and share with Broncos Country. Final provocative question. After this win, do the Denver Broncos make the playoffs, yes or no? Tell me below, and let's keep the convo going.